Ricochet, we all know you're a man who sticks to his guns, never backs down from a challenge, but tonight, the Velveteen Dream didn't do the same. He backed away when push came to shove. What are your thoughts on the Velveteen Dream?
Honestly, the Velveteen Dream, he likes to talk a big game. And if anybody knows Ricochet, then they know that I let my actions speak for themselves. And Velveteen Dream, he likes to play games. He wants to play this little game of his, but he better watch out because he doesn't want to play this game of poker when he's just a joker and I'm a king.
The biggest talking point from NXT last night was the start of the show. And it's something that a lot of people were overly concerned with when he first made his debut in the WWE. Everything outside of Ricochet's promo and his promo ability is unquestionably some of the best stuff that you'll see in WWE. But the one thing that people continue to harp on is how he handles himself on the microphone. Now, I'm going to cut the guy some slack. Whatever I seen last night, it didn't make me quote-unquote cringe like some of you tweeted me last night during NXT. I actually thought Ricochet held his own very well on the microphone last night. He got across what he wanted to say, and he looked a little bit more comfortable than I remember seeing him on the microphone. This is something that's going to get better with time, and this is the reason why he's in NXT. There's a reason why Ricochet didn't make it to the main roster. Ricochet has the ability to be on Raw and SmackDown and main event both shows on any given night, on any given week. That is without a question. But the thing that's going to get you over in WWE is how you handle yourself on the microphone. Now, there are guys in WWE who aren't the greatest promo right now on Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live. I mean, look at AJ Styles. AJ Styles is probably the best in-ring performer in the entire world. And AJ Styles at points is cringe on the microphone. AJ Styles at points, doesn't deliver a promo worthy of being a WWE champion. But we overlook that. I think people make such a big deal about it because WWE and the landscape of WWE nowadays, that's the one thing people look for most in a talent is mic work. Ricochet will be fine. Ricochet will be fine. And like I said just a couple minutes ago, this is the reason why he's in NXT. They're going to take Ricochet, who is widely known already in the independent scene. They're placing him in WWE for him to become a household name. And clearly NXT is it's just an environment where you're going to work on the things that you need to work on. If everybody sees it, I'm sure WWE sees it. I'm sure he's getting coached on how to cut a proper promo and how to enhance his promo ability. He's going to be fine. Now, the one thing I don't like about Ricochet's promo work is that he tends to repeat himself a little bit too often, like he did in this little promo here that was exclusive to WWE.com. I don't have the original promo that he cut on NXT with the Velveteen Dream coming out interrupting him. He tends to repeat himself too much, and I think another reason why people don't like his promo work is because A, of his facial expressions, B, he comes off overly cocky, which he's Ricochet. He's allowed to do that because there's not many people that can do what Ricochet does. And he sounds like a pretty boy, and he looks like a pretty boy. So I think all of that rolled up into one big ball is kind of having people sour on Ricochet, and I don't really understand that. I am going to give the guy the benefit of the doubt. Last night was the first true test for Ricochet in NXT to cut a promo, to start the show, to start a major program. And I thought Ricochet did an admirable job. It wasn't the greatest promo ever, but you can't tell me you're not excited about a Ricochet Velveteen Dream program for NXT TakeOver Chicago. Seriously. I mean, the guy could stand out there with no socks, in his loafers, and fucking botch the entire promo and cut the worst promo of his fucking career. It's not going to get me any less excited about a match with the Velveteen Dream at NXT TakeOver Chicago, man. This has the makings of match of the year candidate. Seriously. I loved that opening segment last night. I loved when Dream came out and interrupted, and I was like, let me stop what I'm doing. Let me put my dinner down and listen to these two guys go back and forth and just think about how great potentially this program could be. We all enjoyed the Aleister Black program, and I think this one is actually going to be, in-ring wise, better than what we got with Aleister Black. This was a very, very good opening segment. Now, Ricochet comes out with a microphone, says that it's his mission to make sure people remember and talk about Ricochet. He continues to say that there is one thing on his mind, and Full Sail was on top of their game last night, man. Someone in the crowd mentioned socks. So Ricochet, quick with the wit, said, no, it's not about my socks, but it's about the NXT Championship. And out comes the Velveteen Dream and says, no, 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 no. And Velveteen Dream wonders who gave Ricochet the authority to ask for title matches. He goes on to say, and I quote, babe, I'm going to need you to take a step back. He says Ricochet was right. There is one man, one experience, and Ricochet is looking at him. He goes on to say, and I quote here from Dream, no matter how you flip or flop, and he emphasized flop, which made me LOL. No matter how you flip or flop, you better make sure you land in the very back of the line, behind the Dream. Ricochet then goes on to say, he gets he's the new guy around here and knows who Velveteen Dream is. Ricochet then reminds Dream that he did lose to Aleister Black. Dream, you're good, says Ricochet. I give you that, but you ain't me. Ricochet then goes on to say, he's here to steal Dream's spotlight and his show. Dream returns with anything you can do, the Dream can do better. Ricochet then says, prove it, and then steps up to him. Dream looks to head out. He takes his gold chain off. He's putting it in his back pocket, and he tries to charge at Ricochet, but drops down to the mat and sensually crawls out of the ring. And both men just stare at each other with Dream in the aisleway and Ricochet in the ring. This is going to be a damn good match, man. This match, outside of Gargano or the proposed match that I'm sure we'll be getting in Chicago with Gargano and Ciampa, that could ultimately steal the show. And I am very excited about this. WWE had both of these men in the North American Championship ladder match. And this is a match that I expected to happen first for Ricochet as his first feud. If you guys go back about a month and a half, maybe 2 months, probably even shorter than that, Velveteen Dream was on Twitter, and he was boasting about how all the new incoming talent from the independent scene was going to try and steal the spotlight from the people who are NXT originals, who were born and bred in the Performance Center. And he doesn't want that indie influence coming into the WWE and stealing his moment and his spotlight. He says if those guys are going to try and come into the WWE, then the Dream is going to be at the front of the line to show them how it's done here at the PC, in NXT, in WWE. So they are building off what we've seen Dream tweet as far as independent talents go. And this match is going to be something special this year. I'm anticipating what these two guys are going to do with one another. And the way Dream has come off so far in WWE, I would not be surprised especially in a match against Ricochet, in front of that Chicago faithful, who are some of the most smart, marquee crowds that there are for a professional wrestling show. I would not be surprised with what we've seen from Velveteen Dream already and the fact that we're already impressed by what he's done so far. I would not be surprised to see another face of Dream show up in Chicago, meaning he'll pull out something that we have not seen him do before to try and impress Chicago and try and steal Ricochet's spotlight. Because there's no reason for him to throw a line like, whatever you can do, I can do better. So, it's going to be interesting to see if Velveteen Dream lives up to those words. So that's the one thing I'm holding on to from this promo here. Going to be great. Can't wait to see what these two guys do at NXT TakeOver Chicago, as I'm assuming with the 5 weeks left to build towards that match, that's where they're headed. So I can't wait to see what these two guys do. Ciampa, as always, a beast at what he does. Ciampa is absolutely magnificent in his role. I mean, the transformation from what we've seen. Honestly, I'm being brutally honest with you, man. I cannot speak any more highly of Ciampa than I have been as of late. You look at Ciampa with Gargano and DIY. We all love DIY. I seen Johnny Gargano as a breakout singles guy. I did not think the same thing about Tommaso Ciampa. I did not. I was always worried more for Ciampa being on his own than Gargano. But NXT has done an absolutely brilliant job at almost recreating Ciampa on his way back to the WWE from injury. Johnny Gargano was always going to be there. Johnny Gargano was always going to be the heart and soul of wherever he goes because he's that type of guy. He's that type of character. But the transformation for Tommaso Ciampa into this dastardly, villainous heel that we all love, but we all want to see lose because of his attitude. He's playing the role as perfect as anybody could be playing that role. Comes out to no theme music, has great social media presence, has just the dick-like attitude towards the live crowd when he's in the ring. Everything is just working for him. And he looks like $1 million. He looks absolutely fucking unbelievable. And I can't get enough of Tommaso Ciampa, man. The future is so bright for him, and I can't wait to see what he does moving on into the future. Now, with this feud, last night it was about getting one over on Gargano's friends. He took out Gargano. We don't know the status of Gargano. I'm sure he's going to make a surprise return eventually. So, Ciampa said he broke Gargano, he broke Candice LeRae's heart, and now he's going to break his friends. And that's exactly what he did last night with KASSIUS OHNO. I love what they did with KASSIUS OHNO and Tommaso Ciampa last night. They really made it believable. It was a hard-hitting affair. And Tommaso Ciampa ended up winning in the end. And then he had the post-match attack with the brace, choking KASSIUS OHNO out. There was an interesting point that was made to me on social media. And I know Triple H was all in favor of putting the heartfelt moment at the end of NXT TakeOver New Orleans. Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, yes, in that moment, first match back for Ciampa, such a blood feud. It deserved to close the show. For that night only. For that night only. I would not put these guys in the main event until one of them is NXT champion. And then the championship closes the show, and the championship takes the feud from one level to the next. An interesting point was made how WWE is booking Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano and the feud going forward, and how it's making Aleister Black look. Now, I have to agree that the feud, and it's not being done purposely. It's not being done to make Aleister Black look like a secondary champion or a shadow, or it's not purposely trying to put Aleister Black in the shadow of the grand scheme that is Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. But that's the way it looks. It's not any of their fault. But if Gargano and Ciampa are going to Chicago, again, in whatever type match, I don't know. I heard rumors of people wanting a Hell in a Cell. I heard rumors of a 3 stages of hell. I would absolutely love to see that, but I don't think the feud is at that point yet. Maybe for a championship. Like I said, I hope Tommaso Ciampa is in this state where he broke Gargano, broke his heart, broke the wife of his heart, and then takes the championship. That's what I ultimately want to see. That's what I want to see. But if Chicago is going to be another match for Ciampa and Gargano, I would not put it in the main event. New Orleans was something different. I would put Aleister Black in the main event against whomever he's going up against at NXT TakeOver Chicago because the title needs to be the most important part of the show. The NXT Championship is the one thing that everybody wants to hold and have. And no man, and I said this about Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe, main eventing Backlash over AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. People were saying, well, look at it after the fact. WWE didn't want the ending of AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura to close Backlash. But you rather see Roman Reigns and Backlash and fans clearly walking out because they don't give 2 fucks about Roman Reigns. Doesn't make any sense. No man is bigger than the championship. I'm sorry. In that case, it was 100% wrong. It was okay at NXT TakeOver New Orleans because this was a match building since last Chicago TakeOver in May. So we got to this point. Ciampa's back. First time back in 9 months. It made sense then. I was okay with it. Even though Aleister Black and Andrade Cien Almas put on a main event match before that. I was okay with it. I will not be okay with it going into Chicago. Whoever Aleister Black is going up against, defending the title in Chicago, he needs to be in the main event. I don't want this feud, and like I said, it's not being done purposely. I don't want this feud to overshadow the NXT Championship because no man is bigger than the main championship of your promotion or your brand. Simple. And I'm the biggest Ciampa Gargano mark that you could possibly find. And I'm saying that about them. It's not their fault, but I would not put them in a position where they are coming off more important than the championship. But I'm loving what they're doing. There's nobody watching this that is not loving what they're doing. It's been great. EC3 made his debut, and I know I'm not the only one who's seen this and felt it. And I know it's not his fault. I think EC3 is right now a product of miscast or being miscast. I don't see heel. I don't see babyface when I look at EC3. I see heel. There's no way you could look at EC3 and say, yeah, this is a babyface. He's got the cool chant, right? EC3, NX3. People love to chant that stuff. It's got a beautiful ring to it, right? But when I look at EC3, I see cocky prick who's got a fucking physique like a mythical god. And he actually said that last night. I don't see a babyface in EC3. I see a fucking heel who thinks he's better than everybody else. So I honestly think right now that EC3 is not getting the crowd reaction coming from Impact Wrestling into NXT that he anticipated or we anticipated. And I'm hoping that WWE much sooner than later realizes this before it's too late. EC3 needs to be a heel. Everything he does just resonates as a heel. That's just me. Not saying that I don't like the guy. I'm very much looking forward to seeing EC3 in NXT. I was about to say NX3. I'm very much looking forward to seeing EC3 in NXT. But I think right now he's being miscast. And that was the one take that I took away from his debut. I know what the guy can do in the ring. I know what he's capable of. And he's got everything working for him. He's got a great theme. He's got a great entrance. He's got a fucking look that Vince McMahon would drool over. But right now, if he's being miscast, it's going to ruin all that. And I'm not going to care about EC3 if this continues. So he needs to be put in a situation where he is playing more the type of character that I see from him instead of trying to go against the grain. going against what we know he is. And what I see right now is nothing but a heel. That's my thoughts on EC3's debut. Obviously, he won his debut match against Raul Mendoza. Other than that, man, that was the biggest takeaways from NXT. We had an action-packed episode of NXT last night, to be perfectly honest with you. Much more action-packed than it was the week prior. We had 4 matches last night, which all were very entertaining, and I'm looking forward to seeing where they go into Chicago, man. It's a very exciting time for NXT. I'm definitely interested to see what they do with Adam Cole and the North American Championship. I know we're getting the British Strong Style team of Lorcan, Birch, and Dunn against, well, I wouldn't say only Lorcan is British Strong Style, but he is fucking physical in his own right, against the Undisputed next week. And I heard rumors that we might be getting that type of match, or that same match, again during the UK tapings for this King of the Ring tournament that they're doing on the network. So we don't know what's going to happen with that, if we're going to get a mixture of these British guys against the Undisputed Era going into Chicago, or if Adam Cole's going to defend the North American Championship one-on-one at NXT TakeOver Chicago, which I would actually prefer. Now, NXT TakeOver Chicago isn't set in stone yet. I heard rumors out there that some of the matches were leaked, or some of the directions that WWE wanted to go into for Chicago have been leaked. I haven't looked at them yet. And I will not, because I genuinely want to be surprised. But I don't expect NXT TakeOver Chicago to be better than what we've seen in New Orleans. There hasn't been a bad TakeOver show. I just don't know how they're going to top what they did in New Orleans, to be perfectly honest with you. But NXT last night opened up with the Ricochet Velveteen Dream promo. As you guys know, we discussed that already. Great stuff. Can't wait to see what they do in Chicago. EC3 versus Raul Mendoza. This was pretty much a squash match. Mendoza tried to use his speed early to get the one-up on EC3, and that did not work. EC3 tosses Mendoza into the top turnbuckle, high knee, lifts Mendoza on his shoulders, and plants him to the mat for the 1, 2, 3. And that was pretty much it, man. EC3 with a very easy victory over Raul Mendoza in his debut one-on-one match at Full Sail University. Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch catch up with Pete Dunne and let him know just because they helped out Dunne, that doesn't mean that they like him. And I love the fact that, people love Pete Dunne and they appreciate Pete Dunne and they give Pete Dunne a positive reaction, but he's not coming out there being overly smiley and shaking hands. He's still the Pete Dunne that we love. The bruiserweight, doesn't give a fuck about anybody. But people gravitate to that because they find him to be a legit character. They love what he does, and they love his attitude. So I'm glad that he's maintaining that. And they're not, pushing him more to be a babyface than a heel. He's right in the middle. He's, directly right in the center. Toes the line between heel and babyface. Lorcan calls him a piece of garbage. Tell me how you really feel about Pete Dunne, Oney. And all 3 agree, that is, but there's 3 of them, and they need to take care of the Undisputed Era. So Pete Dunne is on board with taking care of Undisputed Era and helping Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, which we will see next week in the main event of NXT. Dakota Kai versus Vanessa Bourne. As always with a Vanessa Bourne match, the best thing about a Vanessa Bourne match is always her hair. Love her hair, man. Very, very attractive. I don't know what WWE is doing with Vanessa Bourne. She legitimately looked like a hooker last night. And I don't know if that look is going to get over with the hardcore audience. There's nothing that Vanessa Bourne does that resonates as professional wrestler. Maybe if you were to place her in a softcore porn, maybe, by the way she's dressed, she would actually be better off. But whatever she did last night, she has a superstar look to her. What she does in between the ropes is not superstar-like. I'm just being brutally honest with you. But WWE has been featuring her on television. Hopefully she gets better because she has a great look. She needs to change that fucking wrestling gear. My God. I don't mind looking at it. Believe me, I don't mind looking at it. But I mean, it's more of an eye-rolling type of thing than anything. That's just me. Dakota Kai here, captain of Team Kick. She nails Vanessa Bourne with 2 kicks and a knee. And that was pretty much it, man. Couple of kicks to Bourne. That big Sami Zayn-esque Helluva kick. And then a running knee lands in the corner. We have Bourne then fighting back. And it's to no avail, honestly, because Kai, I don't know what the fuck she did. It was a very innovative backstabber, and I don't even remember what she did, but it looked different, and it looked cool, and it was like, oh shit. It was a damn cool-looking move, man, and that's what won. So she got the cover there, and she beat Vanessa Bourne in fairly easy fashion. Now, after the match, Shayna Baszler comes out, and I am very high on the way Shayna Baszler's been carrying herself, man. She looks like a fucking badass. Comes out with the glasses on top of the head. She's got the title draped over her shoulder. She's got the leather jacket. She comes out, and Dakota Kai is fucking pissing her pants at this moment. Shayna Baszler heads to the ring, smile on her face, because she knows none of these women are going to fucking lay a finger on her. Kai looks pretty horrified at this point. Like I said, in the corner, just about to piss her pants. She stands in the ring. Baszler calmly just puts the title down, right? And the referee is telling her to back off. Like, the match is over, Shayna. There's no need for this. Go to the back. Baszler ends up choking out Bourne as Kai just looks on in fear. She backs away and leaves the ring. Baszler then stares down Dakota Kai the whole time like a psycho, just smirking. Because she knows that what she did to Bourne, she's going to do to Dakota Kai. So Kai runs off to the back to preserve herself from a beating from Shayna Baszler. Now, Kathy Kelly is backstage and talks with Kai right after her match. Kelly notes how Kai basically froze in fear when Baszler came out to the ring. Kai says she doesn't really know what happened, but Baszler shows up and Kai just stands there frightened. So Baszler asks her, she comes in to the back from the ringside area. Baszler asks her to do something, but Kai doesn't do anything. She just stands there. Baszler then says, "That's exactly what I thought," and walks away. So suddenly, all you hear is laughing in the corner, and Kai turns around, and Nikki Cross is like standing in between some metal bars, and she's just fucking laughing there. Standing there just maniacally laughing. So it looks like Nikki Cross is going to be on her own in NXT. Everybody was wondering why she didn't make the television debut or is about to make a television debut with Sanity. WWE kept her down in NXT because she's more valuable to the women's division than she would be to Sanity on the main roster. That's the reason why they didn't call her up. I would love to see Nikki Cross versus Dakota Kai. I'd love to see Nikki Cross versus Shayna Baszler. I think that's an intriguing match. I love to see Nikki Cross and what she can do against someone who's just equally as tough in Shayna Baszler. You know? So we'll see what happens with that, man. Very, very interesting stuff there from Nikki Cross. Heavy Machinery versus the War Raiders. This was a match of colossal proportions. 4 men who are gigantic in their own right. It was not the classic tag team affair that you expected here. It was 4 guys legitimately beating the shit out of one another. War Raiders get the upper hand. Rowe lifts and throws Hanson into the corner on top of Otis. Rowe tagged back in. Couple of big strikes. These guys were legitimately beating the shit out of one another with fucking elbows and punches and right hands. Otis then releases an overhead suplex on Hanson, man. And my God, was that fucking impressive. Because Hanson is no small fucking dude. Rowe and Tucker are in. They start going at each other. Tucker with a dropkick, Tucker Knight throws a great-looking dropkick for a guy his size, man. Hanson with a suicide dive on the outside takes out Otis on the floor. Rowe hits a big knee to the face, tags in Hanson, and then on Tucker Knight, they do their leg drop side suplex combo. I don't know if they have a name for that at the moment, but it looks brutal. and they win the match. Heavy Machinery lose in quick fashion. They didn't go down without a fight, but they lose in quick fashion to the War Raiders here via pinfall. We see a self-made promo shot by the Street Profits. Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford do some training outside what looks to be Full Sail University on the football field. And they say they want the NXT Tag Team Championship. I don't know if you're going to be getting Tag Team Championship opportunities when TM61 beat you last week, but it's good to dream and it's good to work towards said goal. But Street Profits, one of the more entertaining teams in NXT. I expect some big things from them in 2018, as always. Tommaso Ciampa and KASSIUS OHNO in the main event of NXT. This was a hard-hitting affair. These two beat the shit out of one another. As always, when it comes to a KASSIUS OHNO match, he doesn't go easy on you, and I absolutely love that. Ciampa here hits a running knee on the floor. Continues to stomp away on Ohno's head. Crowd booing him. Crowd was all over Ciampa in the right way, which I love to see. Ciampa with a running dropkick claws away at Ohno's face. "What are you doing, big brother?" asked Ciampa on Ohno. And that's in reference to Johnny Gargano. So he drives multiple knees into Ohno's chest, chops Ohno with a comeback here, blocks and punch right to the face on Tommaso Ciampa. Bicycle kick and a massive big boot to Ciampa's face. Ohno then drives the knee into Ciampa's eye, and Ciampa had a black eye, and they're selling it as whatever happened at New Orleans is still visible on Ciampa's face. I'm not sure if that's the case, but Ciampa did have a very, very visible black eye, and that's the reason why he was wearing the Kinesio tape on his eye when he came out and attacked Johnny Gargano before his match with Aleister Black. Ohno drives Ciampa down to the mat. Cheap shot by Ciampa here. He takes his wrist tape off and goes to choke KASSIUS OHNO. Now, the referee obviously sees this, and I think Ciampa did it as a way to get the referee's attention somewhere else. So the referee takes this and he turns his back to Ciampa, and while the referee's back is turned, in great heel fashion, you don't see this anymore, man. This is an old school mentality. Takes the tape, referee sees it, referee turns his back. Ciampa is gouging at the right eye of KASSIUS OHNO. And it's just a great dastardly heel move. I smiled when I seen that. I'm like, man, this guy's got it all. This guy is doing all the right things as a heel. Ohno then makes another comeback with a running dive, misses. Ciampa with a knee to the back of the head, goes for a pin, only a 2 count. Multiple kicks to Ohno's head. Discus elbow by Ohno turns KASSIUS Ohno turns Tommaso Ciampa inside out. And then Ciampa with one of his own on KASSIUS Ohno. He drops Ohno to the mat. Cover 1, 2, 3. And Tommaso Ciampa wins here. So there you go. And that ends the match for Tommaso Ciampa. Post-match, crowd boos him. Chants of "you suck." Ohno is in the corner. Ciampa then in the foreground, or in the background rather, takes the knee brace off. And I thought he was going to do another Shining Wizard, but he smacks him in the back of the head with the knee brace and then chokes Ohno with the knee brace. Ohno falls to the floor. And Ciampa starts yelling, "I broke Johnny's body. I broke Candice's heart. KASSIUS Ohno's fairy tale is over." Someone in the audience actually tried to get a "you are the devil" chant. I don't know, it didn't work, but NXT at Full Sail on this night was pretty much on point with whatever they wanted to express towards Ricochet, whether it was him not wearing socks or Tommaso Ciampa's dastardly actions, which I love that Mauro is hyping up on commentary, man. That's exactly what you got to do. They even got Mauro just going all in. How this guy's a fucking vicious psycho son of a bitch. We don't know what happened to Tommaso Ciampa, what turned him into this monster, this dastardly son of a bitch. Sick and maniacal. I love it, man. It's coming from Mauro, too, which enhances Tommaso Ciampa even further. Very good edition of NXT last night. I enjoyed myself, as always, on Wednesday nights, and we have NXT TakeOver Chicago to look forward to, man. Going to be interesting to see how WWE builds towards the bigger matches at TakeOver Chicago. Is Adam Cole going to defend the North American Championship? Who is Aleister Black's first match going to be in defense of that NXT Championship? Who are going to go into Chicago challenging for the Tag Team Championship? Very, very stacked tag team division right now, with War Machine or War Raiders looking very impressive so far in the last couple of weeks. Lots of stuff to look forward to. I'll be here to cover it for you guys as always. So let me know what you're thinking down below. Hit that thumbs up. Thank you so much. Sorry I didn't get this out last night. I just didn't feel well. I didn't really feel like sitting here recording anything. I just wanted to lay on my couch and watch Jaws and just kind of recuperate because I feel very sleep deprived and I haven't really felt that well this week. So I'm glad you guys are still here with me. NXT review as always. Like I said, hit that thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter at JD206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Go and get your Roman Reigns t-shirts, man. The new t-shirt is on Barbershop Window right now. And his empire is still not over. Available on barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Use coupon code BSHOP20 to save 20% off all your orders, man. Thank you so much for all the support. I will see you on Friday for Off the Script. Well, I can't even speak right now. Off the Script, where we will talk about what else is new. Roman Reigns being positioned as the new Daniel Bryan. My goodness, man. What does WWE have up their sleeve now that will undoubtedly fail when it comes to the Roman Reigns initiative? We'll talk about that on Friday. I'll see you guys then. Until then, take care. Enjoy your Thursdays, and I'll see you guys on Friday for Off the Script.